All right, now let's see if we can get someone else in to tell us another example. All right, now, James, would you be about? Were you able to organize this? Now, James has recently become a student of ours. He's been listening for some time and very excited about the legal program that we have, teaching people their freedom and rights. So James has been a student of our freedom and rights for quite a while. And when I started sharing some of the technique, the thing about our freedom and rights is showing you how to get out of debts and how to resolve problems with credit cards and mortgages and those kind of things. And so a lot of people are excited about that. But yes, it's helping people solve their financial problems and get out of a lot of debt. But at the moment, people need to be making money, not just getting out of debts. They want to be making money, and the more money they can make, the better. So James was excited about our program here on making money through real estate. You know, he hadn't bought a property before. He runs his own business. He's a sharp guy. Lives down in Melbourne. We won't hold that against him. And he's wanting to buy up in New South Wales and also down in Melbourne. So are you there with us, James? Oh, there you go. Alrighty. Now, so let me stop sharing my. No, I want to see the screen. Anyway, can we see James? He's a good-looking guy. Okay, James, why don't you tell us your little success stories of what you've been doing? You've bought a couple of houses in the last couple of weeks since joining our program, yeah?
Yeah, I have. So after starting the program, I got out there and started looking and ended up finding, sorry, finding a house in Tamworth, a burnt out house, or partly fire damage, I should say. Approached the owner. We had a couple of conversations. They're pretty savvy, like they do this for a living. But after a couple of conversations, eventually I've talked him down from 140,000 to 85, which is below land value. We estimate the renovations cost us 150. The real estate agent tells me it will sell for around 300,000, or I could rent it for $320 per week. He agreed to a $1,000 cash settlement, so we can take over the property for $1,000. There was a bit of effort to get there with him, because it obviously was a bit different. He didn't know of this method, so it took me a while to sort of explain it to him and get him to come around. But I think I ended up getting him in a pretty good place, because they've got the property on their books and they don't want to have it there. So that one's worked out quite well. So that's in the making.
So let's just have a look at that. So you secured the property for how much?
$1,000 deposit.
$1,000, and you're able to move into the property and do whatever you want for the next how long?
As soon as everything's signed and done, straight away.
Okay, and
you're get it done tomorrow to be tomorrow.
And you can be there for 4 to 6 months to renovate the property, yeah?
Yeah, I managed to stretch him out to 6 months at the end, just because depending on council.
Fantastic. So how would you like to buy a house for $1,000 like James is doing, and not to have to pay anything for 6 months while he improves the value? This is a property that's worth $140,000 they're asking for it. At least on the downside, the cheapest they were willing to go to was 125 that they were promoting, but James has secured it for 85 grand. So he saved himself $40,000 to $65,000. He saved him off that price. Just the land value alone is worth 100 grand. And so he's going to make great money selling that property. Yeah. And what's the next one, James?
So the next one.
Anything else you want to tell us about that property?
No, not really. That was pretty. Yeah, that's about all I've got for that property.
Right.
I managed to find another one around the corner from me. I was just driving home one night. I saw the for sale sign. I noticed it had been there for a few years. So I got in contact with the owner. We ended up having a chat. I asked him what he wanted, what were his plans. He was really easy to deal with. I said, look, this is the way we like to to operate and buy houses. He didn't know about it either, but he was really happy to work with me. Yeah, so we ended up, we're in talks now, but we need to negotiate. But he said, "Yep, I'm willing to negotiate." It's been up for sale for more than 2 years. It's his mother's, and he's basically happy to sign that over to me for $10. That one.
$10, amazing.
Yeah, I can take over that project for $10, which we're going to do hopefully by the end of this week. And then we're going to try and put a prefab house on that. And generally homes around that area, because I know it pretty well because it's my own area, they generally sell for $1 million plus. So hoping to get the block for 500 to 550. The prefab house will be 300,000. Then we estimate maybe another 50,000, 60,000 services, council fees, and a bit of landscaping, etc. Yeah, and again, so he was really easy to deal with. So it's good when you get someone who's easy to deal with and happy to work with you. It does make it a little bit easier.
Fantastic. So there you got a situation, and you negotiated him down. He originally wanted about 700 grand, didn't he? And you got him down to about 5.
Yeah. Well, I think that's part of the reason why it's been around for so long. And the council can be a little bit tricky down in my area. And yeah, I sort of said to him, look, he was trying to sell me a block that was, it's close to 1,200 squares, but it drops off. There's not a lot you can do with the land. So I sort of said, look, we're really only buying 700 squares, and then got the median price for 700 squares in that area, the flat land, and said, look, put that forward as an argument. And yeah, so he's sort of, yep, we're happy to come to terms on that. And yeah, all should be pretty good. And I'd hope to have that one signed up by next week at the latest. For that one, we want to move on that one if we can get going. So yeah,
Brilliant.
Pretty exciting, that one.
Brilliant. So once again, how would you like to buy a house for $10? A property rather, $10, and be able to make $350,000, $400,000 out of it, but you're going to be increasing the value before you pay the owner. You've got a $400,000 of equity once you paid him, and you don't have to pay it. You've paid $10 for the property. Incredible. You saved $200,000 through pure negotiation. And how long have you been part of the program here where we've been teaching us these things, James?
Oh, geez, when did we start? Maybe 4 weeks ago, maybe.
4 weeks ago.
And we finally started nutting down to it.
All right. And so in 4 weeks, he started watching the program there on how to buy properties, and got his head around this. And have you ever bought a property before?
No, this will be my first property.
First property, and he's buying two in the first 4 weeks of doing our program, learning these principles. And he's teaching two lots of people that are in the industry, that buy and market properties. He's teaching them. They've never heard of these programs that we've shared with you, and he's teaching them, and they're excited about it and supporting him on what he's doing. Is that right?
Yeah, no, people get really excited once it's probably hard to. They sort of don't see that it can be done at the start, and once you slowly start to educate them, and then it sort of the penny starts to drop. Well, yeah, then they get, they do get excited because I think they know what they can do for themselves.
And you've been telling me that there's so many great deals out there, yes?
Yeah, well, I found more, but I just haven't had time to sort of pursue them at the moment. I want to get one of these two over the line, and then keep going.
So once you get the principles that we're trying to share with you in this program, we're trying to teach you how to buy properties with little to no money. Stop this ridiculous idea that the whole world's doing of saving to get up 20% deposit. By the time you've got 20% deposit, the properties have gone up 20% and more. And so you've got to be able to learn these techniques of how to buy properties with little to no money, like James has done. For years, he hasn't bought a property because he's been thinking, I've got to come up with 20% odd. Now he realized he can buy a property for $10, and he showed us all how to do it. Okay. we put our hands together for you, James. Congratulations. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, probably just to add on to what you're saying there. Like, money for us at the moment is pretty tight. So if money's stopping anyone from doing this, yeah, you really don't need a lot of money at all. So yeah, don't let that be a hindrance to anyone out there. Just get out there and make phone calls and just keep ringing. Something will eventually pop up.
As they say, ask and you shall receive. Knock and it'll be open unto you. So thanks, James. We really appreciate it. And I'm sure we'll get back on again for some more success stories. If you could do this in 1 month, imagine what you're going to be able to do as you learn these techniques even more.
Yeah, it's exciting. Looking forward to it.
All right. Fantastic. Thanks so much, James.
No, thanks, Doug.
Appreciate you coming on board. All right.
Cheers.
Okay. Thanks, Ezra. Now, so do you understand the value? Now, if James is going to make $400,000 out of that property that he secured for $10, and he's going to be able to do that in the next 4 to 6 months, how much are you going to make in the next 4 to 6 months? All right. He's secured a property worth up to $700,000 for $10. No money to pay for 6 months. How good is that? And he is smart enough. Now he's learned the principles that we teach you in this program, how to do this. And then you're going to be able to add value. And once the value is on the property, you can then borrow at the full value, the 1.2 million, or sell it at the 1.2 million or more. And then you pay the $500,000 and you've made your profits. Does that sound like a far better way to buy properties than you've been buying in the past? Those that go out to buy a $1.2 million property put themselves in debt up to their eyeballs and higher, and they can't afford, they end up losing their houses. All right. This is a far better way to buy properties and make your money. And by learning these principles that we teach you in how to buy properties with little to no money, and our Properties and You program.